Cases are down, but clearly we are still reeling from the impact of the second wave. What about China? Has China beaten the pandemic? Well, it's hard to say because reliable information is hard to come by from China. There are reports of fresh outbreaks on and off. The latest one has come from the coastal province of Guangdong. A district was put under a partial lockdown after a new outbreak. But here's something that's more worrying. A new kind of outbreak. A new kind of bird flu. The first human case of this bird flu anywhere in the world. What do we know about this? Only what China has chosen to reveal. A 41-year-old man was infected with a new strain of bird flu. It is called H10N3. It's the first time that a human has been infected with this strain. The case was detected in northwest Shanghai. The patient was admitted to hospital on the 28th of April. What kind of symptoms did he have? The Chinese press reports that he had a fever and some other symptoms. There's no clarity on what these quote-unquote other symptoms are. China is calling this an accidental cross-species transmission. Authorities say it went from poultry to humans, the virus, and that this strain is less severe. So for a change, we know about the origins, poultry to humans. But how did it happen? What is accidental cross-species transmission? No answers yet. The most worrying part is how frequently this happens in China, a virus jumping from one species to another. The Wuhan virus, let me tell you, is not the exception. In the last 1 year, China has reported several disease outbreaks, and we've been reporting on all of them. A new influenza virus is spreading fast among Chinese pigs. No human-to-human transmission has been reported yet, but the virus mutates quickly. And this one has all the hallmarks of a pandemic-causing virus. This is according to experts from China. A city in China's Inner Mongolia has reported a suspected case of bubonic plague, the same disease that killed more than 50 million people in the 14th century Europe. Bubonic plague is highly infectious, often fatal. It is transmitted by animals, often marmots, which are eaten in several regions in China. This is news of another major outbreak in China and another cover-up. We're talking about a city in northwest China. It's called the Langzhou city. The disease we're talking about is called brucellosis. More than 3,000 people are infected. Influenza, brucellosis, bubonic plague, all these outbreaks happened during the Wuhan virus pandemic, and they all fit a pattern. A virus jumps from animals to humans and thousands of people suffer. And now we have a new strain of bird flu, a new virus jumping from poultry to humans. As always, Chinese officials are playing down the outbreak. They say the strain does not spread from one human to another. Have we heard this before? Yes, we have. China said the exact same thing about the Wuhan virus. It does not spread from one human to another. And look where we are today, socially distancing and masking, locked down and isolated because the virus does indeed spread from one human to another. And we fervently hope that China is right this time and that the outbreak is nothing to worry about. But we are wary of believing what Chinese authorities say. By the way, China is also the original source of the bird flu. In 1997, right after it took over Hong Kong, the city was hit by a bird flu outbreak. Back then, it was called the H5N1 virus. Officials in Hong Kong were reluctant to blame Beijing, but there was no doubt about the source. 80% of Hong Kong's poultry came from mainland China. Hong Kong ended up culling more than 1.3 million chickens, ducks, pigeons, and other birds. It did not name China as the source of the outbreak. Then in 2017, a report called China the quote-unquote ground zero for a future pandemic. The reason was once again bird flu. In 2013, a new strain had begun infecting people in China. By 2017, China had witnessed as many as 5 waves of this. The last one was the deadliest. By September 2017, more than 1,500 cases had been reported and more than 600 people had died. These are the official figures, I must add that. And they may seem like nothing when compared with the toll of this pandemic. But this pandemic has also taught us that the virus keeps mutating. It changes shape. It can take deadlier forms. So far, thankfully, bird flu has not escalated to a pandemic of global proportions. But it is very much around. It is spreading. Between December 2020 and January 2021, more than 7 million birds were culled due to a new strain of bird flu. This strain, too, never reached humans. But now we have another strain that does. It has jumped species, a virus that has infected humans, and once again, it has happened in China. And if there's anything the world has learned from this pandemic, it is to be on your guard when China says there is nothing to worry about. We'll keep tracking this story for you. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.